function, the functions and processes which we have, the practices. I mean, you people must have heard those a number of times. So that's very regular thing for you. So value streams. So these are few value streams via which we are delivering. SVC activities represents the steps in organizations takes in the creation of value. Each activity contributes to the value chain. So, so whatever we have discussed, so those are the value chain components. These inputs could be demand from outside the value chain. Sometimes external factors they trigger in the way the activities are connected to and interacted with one another, with each activity receiving and providing triggers for functions to be taken. So there are some sub functions, so sub activities, sub functions, sub tasks, which will get triggered once these activities are started. To convert inputs into outputs, so we'll discuss this part also, the sub activities. To convert inputs into outputs, the value chain activities use different combinations of ITIL practices altogether. Each activity may draw upon internal or third party resources. Some third party resources, vendors, suppliers, they are involved in this. Okay. And when we say involved, so this means, I mean, there are some dependencies also. So the way we discussed yesterday, the infra upgrade which we have. So if you have some dependency on say server or network components, so you need to consider that SLA also. If their SLA is huge, so you need some time to finish with that. Okay. So the very first thing is plan. I'll suggest you write these two things down. Okay. So these are the uh, inputs and these are the outputs. The left hand side is input and right hand side is out. So the very first thing is plan. So to ensure a shared understanding of vision, current status, and improvement direction for all four dimensions and all products and services across the organization. So in a regular project management method, so what they call this as a inception stage. So project is just starting, we are just planning. So while you are planning something, okay, there are possibilities that you will find some new components. Oh, okay, this is also required, that is also required, kind of. So this is what they are saying. Okay. So what all inputs we are sharing to this plan stage, that is your org policy, requirement, constraints, consolidated demand, and opportunity. Value chain performance information improvement activities and plans. So this is statistical data. Improvement status report. Okay. So improvement status report is applicable in case you have second or third or fourth iteration. This means your first phase, first iteration, your first cycle is already come. Knowledge and information about new and change product services. Knowledge and information about third party service components. So which will give you, so all these documents, all these data points, they will give you strategic tactical operation plan, okay, portfolio decision, architecture and policies, improvement opportunities, product and service portfolio, contract and agreement. So improvement opportunities, how they will give you. So for example, on the very first stage, you have some requirements. So that yesterday's, so we'll continue with that same example. So 4-second execution we need. So initially we decided, okay, we need Oracle DB upgrade, infra upgrade, and so application upgrade. So while we are planning, while we are analyzing, while we are validating the data, We just understood, oh, okay, bash upgrade is also required. Some other component upgrade is also required, which will need some extra time, say a month's time, for example. So a month's time is a huge when you plan such activities or project. So in that case, if you have already committed to your client in a verbal thing, you will not communicate anything on paper until and unless your this phase is complete. So if you have communicated verbally, then you need to add these details also under your communication, because your say for example your client, he will think like, oh, okay, we will deliver within a year. No, but you need few more months to deliver, because bash upgrade or other upgrades, they need some extra time. Okay, I'll suggest you write this down or at least take a screenshot. This is quite important. Few small components are there which we forget sometime, so that's the required thing. Any questions, any scenarios you recollect from your organization?
Whenever we are doing an upgrade, so we take all the parties into picture, like in the loop, and then we plan it. Uh, like we plan it way ahead, and there's downtime also, right? So if there's a bank, right, there should not be an impact on transactions.
Hmm.
So we make sure that. So when you were telling all this, I was recalling that only, and
Yeah.
everything. Even
And
we tell the
huh,
customers, right, we have to give them a notice that certain
correct.
period, 2 hours, it will not be there. So yeah.
See, these days what is happening, especially for you also, Nawaz. So in this in such a major migration projects or major upgrade projects, so what we do is we do a daily stand-up. So daily stand-up is a meeting where we all meet for 10-15 minutes, okay, and we discuss in brief, okay, किया क्या करना है कैसे करना है कोई इश्यूज है कल कल कुछ नया ऑब्जर्व हुआ वगैरह वगैरह. So sometimes what they do is, sometimes your people, they communicate in a casual manner. They feel like, okay, if we communicate like this, we will be in a good shape. But while you are communicating a component from a plan, you need to make sure like, oh, okay, there are some chances that this plan may get changed. आपको ये ध्यान रखना होता है. You have to consider this part also. Okay, all good. Any questions? Okay, few more people have joined. Nikhil, Nikhil have joined.
Hello.
Count. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. So, Nikhil, we just started with the discussion. So, anything you want to revisit from yesterday's discussion? Okay. And so, any question on this page, the plan stage? Nikhil, you are on mute.
I just joined, so
Ah, you just joined. Okay. So, any question on anything you want to add or discuss on the plan phase? So, plan phase is a stage or phase of SVC, service value chain, and we just started. So you haven't missed a major chunk. So the left side is input and right side is output of plan stage. Okay. So these are few things I'll suggest. So these stages and phases, you concentrate and write it down manually.
okay.
So if possible, write it down on your notebook, notepad, whatever you have. Okay. So Samir, while these people they are writing, so how is the environment in KPMG? You was with KPMG, right?
Uh, it's very hectic actually. It's uh,
No, no, hectic will be there. See, these are few people. I mean, these are captive organizations.
yeah,
They will not consider you. They
actually.
want, yeah, they will deliver. They need delivery. Okay.
So I came from banking domain, right? This is very new for me, and actually I did my masters and I came to Singapore. I joined KPMG in Singapore, and
Even
here,
Singapore, you have same situation.
yeah. Here it's even bad. It's even worse than India. In India, at least weekends we were not asked to work, but here it's very weird.
See, this needs to be communicated to all those folks who are trying to fly abroad for their job, for their even I have faced the similar situation in US. So people they feel like, oh, okay, US we have a better life, but this is not the thing. People they wear suit outside, but inside, I mean, I do not want to use those words. It's
So
very bad. Yeah.
yeah, I actually resigned, and currently I'm in Bangalore. I'm thinking whether to go back or continue here. So that's why I wanted to. I took PSM, so I'm taking ITIL, and next I'm thinking to take
So
PMP.
PSM is complete.
Yeah, PSM I cleared. I
So
got
when
98.
you have taken PSM last week, last before that.
Around 3 4 weeks back. So, yeah,
Okay.
so that is completed already. So now I'll do ITIL, and then I was thinking PMP,
Yeah.
and
So you are
yeah,
yeah. So this is a full suit. Okay.
yeah,
So PSM falls under agile practices,
yeah,
and this is ITSM. So your process layer is complete, I feel.
yes.
So above this layer, you don't do anything. So
Yeah,
whatever you have invested, I'll suggest you extract something from it, okay, and then you proceed.
okay. So, thank you.
Good.
Keep it in mind.
So can we proceed? Yes.
Yes.
Next phase is engage. So engagement is nothing but when we are starting our execution. Okay. The actual implementation, execution, the working where we are starting. So this is the phase. So to provide a good understanding of stakeholder needs, transparency, and continual engagement, and a good relationship with all the stakeholders. So all these stages, so execution, communication, association of resources, everything we are starting here. Okay. So what are the inputs? So inputs are product and service portfolio, high level demand, information on the completion of user support tasks, market opportunities, cooperation opportunities, contract and agreement requirement. So what are these cooperation activities and market opportunities? So there are chances, okay, that there are some people or some players are available in the market who all are doing the same business or same execution. So what you can do is you can collaborate. You can collaborate all together to save your time, to save your money, etc. etc. See, when you try to build something from 0 to 100, it will take some time and some cost is associated when time is invested. So instead of that, if you have some opportunities available in market, if there are some players available in market, so you can go with that path. So that's the thing. So these all are inputs of a particular phase. Output is consolidated demand and opportunities, product and service requirement, user support task, improvement opportunities and stakeholders feedback, change or project initiation request, contract agreement with external and internal suppliers, knowledge and information about third party service performance report. So contract and agreement with external and internal supplier. So this is like wherever you have external vendor or external parties associated, you need to talk to them. You need to understand their agreements, okay? The contract, say discussion. Few vendors, they will be in 24 by 7 support. Few are in 8 by 5 support. But for your project, you need 24 by 7 support. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete the project. So in this case, what you have to do is you have to talk to them and you have to make sure like their contracts are updated. And when we are updating some contracts, this means you need to associate or you need to allocate some cost also. Okay. There are some organizations in a captive especially where they have some central team. Okay. They have some central team associated and we need to take some part of that central team. Okay. So for example, DBA, you need 24 by 7 DBA. It's an internal team, the central COE team, consider like that. But you need to take DBA out of it. So you need to pay for that. You need to abide to their contracts and agreements. So in some cases, they will say like, no, no, my DBA will be 8 by 5 in a regular contract. So in some cases, you need to sign additional contracts with them and you need to arrange extra DBAs or extra middleware guys or extra network guys, etc., etc. Okay. Any question on any of the points? What I'm doing is I am trying to cover the gray areas. Some words they are in gray area shape. I'm trying to cover those, but in between, if you feel like no, I need this part also, you can talk. You can raise a voice. No problem.
I think we are good. We can proceed.
Sorry,
I think we are good. We can proceed.
Samir, your voice is very bad. I mean, it's breaking.
Sorry. I think we can
Adjust,
proceed.
adjust your headphone. Yeah. Okay.
Is it better now?
No, not yet. So clear.
Yeah.
So Nitish, you just joined. Good morning.
Yeah, hi sir, good morning. Sorry.
Any? No, no, no problem. That's okay. So this is, I mean, we just started with the few phases and stages in SVC, and now
Right.
we are. Uh, sorry.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And meanwhile, do you have any questions, concerns on the discussion which we done yesterday?
Not now, sir. Actually, sir, the recorded video is not uploaded right till now. So maybe
No, no, recorded
today.
video. Yeah, that will be available at the end of the session. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So both these days will get uploaded. I have already
Okay.
discussed with Kunal yesterday. So he
Yes, sir.
mentioned once this is done, no, he will upload the link, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
So you will
Yeah.
have link to view the things actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So any question on engage phase? Any scenario you want to discuss?
Not now, sir.
Samir, Nikhil?
Not now.
No, I'm good.
Next thing is design and transition. So this is the phase where all the members are engaged and we started with the actual execution. Okay. So design phase is a phase where we are actually executing the things. We are talking to people with respect to technical assignments, technical execution. In some cases, we are discussing HLDs, LLDs. HLD, LLD is nothing but high level diagram, low level diagram. Okay. So these are the diagrams which we try to discuss. We take the feedback at every stage, phase. Architects are getting involved. We are discussing things technically. We discuss plan, we need hurdles, we need additional engagements, etc., etc. We formulate resource plan, resource availability plan. We start discussion on leaves, actually, the major ones, okay, like Diwali, the year-end leaves, etc., etc. So all this starts here. Few things are not mentioned here on paper, but they are important. For example, if Diwali is approaching, if Eid is approaching, if your year end is approaching, so we need to consider that part also. It's not like a regular day. People, they go for a planned sick leave, so you need to, so you need to decide on that part. So the very first thing is to ensure that products and service continually meet stakeholders' expectation for quality, cost, and time to market. It's very important. Time to market. You are doing very fantastic things. So you are building a Taj Mahal, but not on time. It's of no use. Okay? So in our industry, especially in IT, if you really look at it, any of the domain, banking, insurance, automobile, and whatnot. So if you look at it, so we are a backbone service. We are at back end. We are not primary. And when you are not primary, you need to follow the time. No, you are very important. Okay, this is not like you are not important, but you are not primary. Understood? So say in banking, okay, the primary thing is their business availability, and for example, time to market. So what is time to market? Any idea? Nikhil, you want to add something here? Time to market. Awaz.
Actually, I'm having cold, so
Okay. Go slow then. Go slow. Anything you want to add, Nikhil?
no.
Okay. So time to market is nothing but, say for example, if one of your competitor, he has declared like, we will go ahead with the XYZ implementation in January. So as a competitor, you need to available, you need to make sure your team is also implementing the same product or a similar product. Okay. So for example, if Jio is planning 5G implementation next year, and if Airtel is not planning anything, okay, all their customer base will gone. Same is applicable in every industry. So for example, Jio is offering 5G. Airtel or some other players, they are offering 3G, 4G, or 4G, etc., etc. So people, most of the people who all needs maximum speed, they will shift to the new technology, right? So that's the thing. So instead of losing a particular customer base, you need to plan your time to market. Okay. So this is the thing. So portfolio decision. So what all inputs we have for this stage or phase? So portfolio decision, architecture and policies, product and service requirement, improvement initiatives and plan, improvement status report, service performance information, service components, knowledge information, knowledge and information about third party services, knowledge and information about new or change products and services. What's this? Any idea? The last point. Anyone? What's the last line says? Knowledge and information about new or change products or services. What's this?
So, so, uh, is it like whatever the changes we are making in the upgrade or the anything, we have to know the all the information about it?
Correct. So, for example, you are upgrading to a new version. So do you have complete information available? That's the question. Okay, if you are implementing a new service or a product, so question is, do you have end-to-end complete information available? This should not happen like, okay, you have implemented and after say 15 days, you have some new surprises. You will not have time to do that. So that's the thing. So gather the information first, and information is key. Data is key. That's the thing. Okay. So what all outputs are involved here? Requirements and specification, contracts and agreement requirement, new and change products and services, knowledge and information about new and change products and services, performance information and improvement opportunities. So at every stage, if you look at it, you have improvement opportunities because you are practically operating on things. And there are chances that you will have some new opportunities or new findings or observations. Okay. So what all DBAs are involved in the execution or the analysis thing. So what they are doing is they are, say, working based on their knowledge. And this may happen like their knowledge is limited. They are not validating the complete system. So when such things are happening, okay, so there are opportunities for the improvement. There are possibilities for the input. Okay. So input and output. I'll suggest you write this down. Design and transition phase.
Prashant, when do we give HLD and DLD?
No, HLD and LLD. DLD, no,
LLD.
LLD.
Okay, sorry.
LLD.
Yeah,
High level diagram, low
and low
level
level.
diagram.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do is at plan stage, okay, we start executing. So at plan stage, we are formulating those diagrams. So when we say plan, so at that time we are formulating those diagrams.
Uh, Prashant, this is the thing which will be means parallelly we are doing, right? Planning and the design and transition.
Ha, yes.
Yeah.
The HLDs and LLDs, Samir, they will have technical information available. Okay, technical, the very first analysis of your technical information. And there are possibilities like while you are, say, going into this design and transition phase of life cycle, there are chances that your HLDs and LLDs needs to be updated. So what we do is, for example, if we have 1.1 version at the very first stage, or the very first version is 1, for example. So what we do is we update the version. We update the HLD or LLD, whatever document you want to update. And those are just a document. It's not like something very different. Okay. Those are diagrams. Those are information diagrams. So what we do is we update those diagram and we update the version. Okay. So
Okay. Okay.
the initial version is 1, for example. So next version is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc., etc. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, done. Can we proceed? Any questions?
No.
Next stage is obtain and build. So obtain and build is nothing but you procure, I mean, you have, okay. So at planning stage, if you need some additional resources from, say, like hardware, additional hardware, so you need to raise those requests at planning stage. Okay. So in design and transition and obtain and build, especially in obtain and build, what we do is we gather the, say, those hardware things. Okay. And in obtain and build phase, what we do is we actually build those products or services. Okay. So if you are building some service, say some new servers, so your hardware is already available now. So you need to start installing those OS. You need to start building those servers, related backup systems, network components, configuration of your network devices, etc., etc. So everything will start here. Okay. So to ensure that the service components are available when and where they are needed and meet the agreed specification, architectures and policies, contracts and agreements, goods and resources, that means your hardwares, okay, requirements and specification, improvement initiatives and plans, improvement status reports, change or project initiation requests, knowledge and information about new and change services or products, knowledge and information about third party services and products. Okay. So, for example, if you have some third party involvement in this, okay, so in that case, you need to have full information. This is not like, oh, this was not known. No, you do not have window for that. See, especially you do not have window for any surprises, not for this one, but any surprises. Okay. So these are few inputs to your process. Okay. And outputs are service components for deliver and support, service components for design and transition, knowledge and information about new and change products and service components under value chain, okay, contracts and agreements, performance information and improvement opportunities for improvement. Okay. So how performance information is important here? Any idea? Any guesses rather? Anything you want to add? The performance information or the statistical data which we have related to those components and services, it says like, boss, this particular components behave like this particular service behave like this. So you have their performance related information. So if you need a fine tuning, okay, the stage is optimize and automate. So if you want to do something, this is the opportunity. So you need to consider that part also. So this components needs tuning. So fine tuning you can execute at this stage also. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to add? Any scenarios you have in your mind? No? Okay. So next stage is delivery and support. So delivery is nothing but a rollout. So in this stage, okay. So when we say we are delivering, so all these sub activities, the way we discussed earlier, so all these sub activities like lower environment testing, the documentation part, formulation of SOPs, etc., etc., all will happen in this stage. Okay, so few sub activities are also there which are not mentioned. So this is the stage or phase. Okay. So deliver and support, what they are saying is to ensure that the services are delivered and supported according to the agreed specification and stakeholders' expectation. We are going live. Okay. So input is new and change products and services, contracts and agreement with the external internal parties, service components, improvement initiatives and plan, improvement status report, user support task. Okay. So when we are going live, we will have some support related task also, like your KT, your shadow trainings, etc., etc. Knowledge and information about new and change service component, knowledge and information about third parties. What all outputs we will have out of this stage or phase? Information on the completion of user support task, product and performance information, improvement opportunities, contracts and agreement requirement, change request, service performance information. Okay. Any questions, guys?
What is change request, Prashant?
Sorry, I was just tweaking. Yeah. Sorry. Somebody was saying something.
No, just wanted to check on the last point. Change request service performance information. What is change request?
Change request is nothing but a request which you are go live request. Let me summarize. Go live change. You will have some change, right?
Okay.
You will have some go live change out of it.
Post go live.
No, no. So they are saying your go live is done.
Okay.
So you will have go live say change request ready or executed at this stage. See, for delivery, you need change request also, right? Hello?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Hmm.
right. So that change request is the output. See, right side is output. Okay, right side is not. So this is the output data you are discussing. So you will have change request ready in your hand.
Understood.
And once that is available, so you will have some monitoring system also. So which will generate service performance information. See, monitoring system or few other components, those are not mentioned because those are technical aspects. See, few aspects they are related to your process execution. Few aspects they are related to your technical execution. So the way I have said HLDs, LLDs, architects diagram, Kanban board, etc. So those are not mentioned here because they are not related to this particular piece of work. It's sub activity. Okay. Yes, no.
Yes.
Okay. Next stage is improvement. Okay? So every stage, every phase is giving you some feedback, positive, negative. And on the negative feedback, there are opportunities which are getting generated where you can improve your system, your performance components, etc., etc. So in that case, the improvement stage is getting triggered. So to ensure the continual improvement of product, service, and practice also, okay, across the value chain activities and the four dimensions of service management. See, we are not only discussing about products and service. We are discussing about practices also. For example, if your incident management team needs some extra tool, okay, if they need some opportunities for automation, if they need some automation, okay, so everything will get covered here. Okay, so consider like your incident management team, they do not have any mechanism to see whether you have issues with the system. So this is the stage or phase where we are considering that part also. Okay. So inputs are products and service performance information. Okay. Whether all things are going well. your monitoring reports, etc., etc. Stakeholders feedback, user feedback, customer feedback, etc., etc. Performance information and improvement opportunities from earlier stages or phases, knowledge and information about new or change products and services and third party systems. Okay. What you will have as a output: improvement initiatives and associated plans, value chain performance information, improvement status report. Okay, where are we? Contracts and agreements requirement, service performance information. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to discuss?
All good, Prashant. We can proceed.
Done with writing?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we have completed the stages and phases of your SVC, service value chain, and we will be starting with few practices. So this will be a known area for you guys. But before we enter into new a known area, I'll suggest you review the things from your side, and if we have any questions, concerns, then we can start the discussion. Just just take say 2-3 minutes, at least 2 minutes, and just review once you need if we need anything to be discussed here, and otherwise we'll start. So can we start with this practices? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have three major categories. One is general, service management, and technical management. Okay. So what is practice? So a practice is a set of organizational resources designed for performing work or accomplishing an object. Okay. So it includes process, procedure, system and tools, people, skills and competence, other necessary elements. So people, skill and competence. So in some projects, so for example, a new components are getting involved. So they will say like, boss, you do this certification, you do that certification, you update yourself on this part, and so on. So all these things are involved here. Okay. So seven ITIL practices. Okay. They are continual improvement, change control, incident problem, service request, service desk, and service level management. Okay, these are the regular ones actually, which are quite important with respect to your exam, your day-to-day work, etc., etc. So continual improvement practice, the very first one. So continual improvement practice is a say central practice, okay, which takes input from all these stages, phases, practical exposures, and all the practices, other practices also. Okay. So to align the organization's practices and services with changing business needs to the ongoing identification and improvement of the service component, practice, or element. The scope is development of improvement related methods and techniques, propagation of a continual improvement culture across the organization in an alignment with the organization's overall strategy. So when you have a org strategy aligned to your continual improvement, so that will help. So enhancement project. So sometimes we use this word. So this is enhancement project. So practically we take enhancement on priority two, but maximum cases, if you want to drive fast, so you should have some mechanism, you should have some policies which will consider these enhancement opportunity as priority one. There are some organizations where we have separate teams, separate execution teams for such initiatives. So evergreening, for example, evergreening is a piece of work which falls under enhancement opportunities. Okay. So few organizations, they have separate team for the evergreening executions. So carbon neutral, etc., etc., whatever we are discussing, so have separate teams for that. Any question on continual improvement? So this is the diagram where all the stages and phases are captured with respect to continual improvement model. So why we are using continual and not continuous? Any idea? Yes, no?
Maybe because continual is done in iteration, but continuous is like
Correct,
you have
correct,
to do like one after the other. So that's
correct,
not possible in IT.
correct. See, in continuous, okay, there are possibilities like you have A, B, C task. Okay, so continuous execution is like you executed A, B, C, or A or B or C. Okay. Continual is like, okay, so A is executed, okay, done. So let's take a small pause, let's take a small break, go for a feedback. Okay, okay, we have these issues in A. So accommodate those issues in B, then in C. Same say process for C. So this is continual. Okay, good. So this is the diagram, okay, where we have few questions. Okay. So few questions they say is, uh, what is the vision? Where are we now? Where do we want to be? How do we get there? Take action. Did we get there? And the continual cycle is, how do we keep the momentum up? Okay. So at every stage and phase, we will have some output. So that is business vision, mission, goals and objective, perform baseline assessment, define measurable targets, define improvement plan, execute improvement action, evaluate matrices with KPIs. KPI, KCI, you know this word. Okay. So KPI is key performance indicator. KCI is key control indicators. Okay. And this is a continual cycle. So based on feedback, based on things, you will again start the mechanism again. Okay. So I'll suggest you write this diagram down. So this is important diagram with respect to the execution.
Yeah.
Yes, done.
Done.
Can we proceed? Any questions, concerns on this stage? So these are the key activities. Okay. Encouraging continual improvement across the organization, securing time and budget, identifying and logging improvement opportunities, assessing and prioritizing the improvement uh, opportunities or areas, making business cases for improvement action, planning and implementing improvements, measuring and evaluating improvement results, coordinating with improvement activities across the organization. The second line is securing time and budget for the continual improvement. Okay, sometime if you are have plan ready, budget ready, but you need to go for the time also. So in some cases, you are updating, upgrading, adding, updating the live environments. So when you are operating on live environments, you need to take the customer approval, etc., etc. So for that, you need to secure time also. Okay. Next thing is change, the known practice actually. So what is change? Any idea? What is change? What is incident? Nawaz, you are there with me till now?
Yeah, yes, bhai. I'm here, but I'm working on something unfortunately.
Ah, okay. So anybody, what is change? So
Uh,
change. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
so change is basically something different from the intended design.
No. Not that change. No.
Okay. Okay.
So not that change.
Okay.
Any other person say? Uh,
Sorry,
Nick,
am I audible?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So change is basically the thing which we are trying to change in the production to fine tune or get something desired result.
correct, correct. But see, what is change? What is the definition of that word change?
Change is changing the production.
Voice is breaking.
Okay. Uh, Change is like your whatever the changes we are making into the system, any configuration changes or other thing.
Okay. So change is any addition, deletion, update, configurational update in the system is change. Okay. So any addition, updation in the services or products or configuration, that is change. So mind it, I am saying deletion also. So for any decommissioning of a particular service or product, we need a change. Okay. So I'll suggest you write this down. Any addition, modification, updation of a service or component is a change. And we are doing these changes on lower environments, higher environments, and DR systems also. Sometimes people they forget DR, but DR is quite important. So these days we are very keen in the major systems like banking. People they they consider DR as a primary activity. So DR updation is a primary activity.
Sorry, Prashant, what is DR?
DR is disaster recovery.
Okay.
The primary and secondary. I don't know what word you are using. So few people they are using like primary and secondary. Okay, so secondary is DR, primary is production. So disaster recovery is an environment which we use to recover, okay, to keep on our services going in case of any issues or concerns or any technical issues, natural calamities like flood. So if we have floods in Mumbai or Chennai, so we switch to that secondary location in say Delhi or Australia or London, etc., etc. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so change control practice. So the motto of this thing is to maximize the number of successful IT changes by ensuring that risks have been properly assessed, authorizing change to process, and managing the change schedule. Typically includes all IT infrastructure applications, documentation process, supplier relationship, and anything else that might be directly or indirectly connected. Okay, the very important part. So I'll suggest you write this down or at least keep in mind. Okay. Organizational change control, organizational change management. Okay. Org change management and this change management, ITSM change management, they are different. Change control, change management in ITSM is different from org change management. So whenever you have organizational level change, okay, so that is different change management that called as OCM, org change management. OCM is about to managing people's aspects of a change. Okay, so that's very different. It's we are talking about ITSM here, and so that OCM is different. Okay, this is very important. People they mostly confuse with OCM and CM. Okay, see, we have definition also here. addition, modification, or removal, deletion of anything that could have direct or indirect effect. Okay. Change authority, the person or group who authorize the change. What all different changes we have? Normal, standard, and emergency. Okay. A normal change is these are the changes that need to be scheduled, assessed, and authorized. Okay. In a regular, normal manner. Standard changes are nothing but pre-approved changes. Okay. And emergency change that needs to be implemented faster. If we have some major issues, then those changes needs to be implemented faster. I'll suggest you write this down. Okay, these are important aspects. Do we need 5 minutes break? Saturated?
Yep.
Okay, 2-3 minutes break. Okay. So it's 10:13. Let's join in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, Prashant, hello.
Yes, Nikhil.
Yeah. So what is the difference between the normal change and the standard change? Yes.
See, standard change is pre-approved. Okay, there are some categories which are pre-approved. For example, password change. Okay, so if you raise a password request for a particular system or a particular yourself rather, so that's the standard change. If you don't need to go for a separate change, raising a change, then you go to some other guy for approval, etc. So if you are the user, if they validated you well, so you
Hmm.
can go ahead. That's the thing. Okay.
Okay. And the normal change will we have to present it in a meeting,
Cab,
right? Cap call,
GCAP,
and then
correct,
we have to
correct.
get approved.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Can we start? Yes, all are back.
Yes.
Okay. So Nikhil is also available. Nikhil has raised one question. So I just Nikhil, you are back.
Yep.
So Nikhil, the way we discuss, so these are few changes, and there is one more category. Okay, the name is expedited change. Any idea what is expedited change? Anyone? It's
Sorry,
not
which one?
mentioned here. Expedited, expedited, expedited
Mm,
change.
no.
Okay, so let me give you one scenario. Okay? So my change, whatever I want to upgrade, okay, it's not so important. Okay, like emergency change. Okay,
Okay.
understood?
Mm-hmm.
My change, whatever I want to upgrade, okay, that's not so important like emergency. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's not so important like emergency, but it's not so normal like a normal change. Okay, it's not that much important, but we cannot delay with a normal change. So
Mm-hmm.
what's the solution to this? इमरजेंसी नहीं है बट
Mm-hmm.
उसको मुझे ऑपरेट भी करना है 1-2 दिन में. So what's the option? See, consider like this is a Sunday. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have encountered something on Monday, tomorrow. Okay, so after analyzing, you found that okay, ये कर सकते हैं, बट ये इमरजेंसी नहीं है चेंज, 1-2-3 दिन चल जाएगा. बट ज्यादा दिन रुके तो और सिस्टम भी फेल हो सकते. ओके, तो फॉर एग्जांपल डेटाबेस पर्जिंग. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट डेटाबेस पर्जिंग? डेटाबेस को पर्ज किया जाता है. ओके, so consider like database. I'm just giving a random example. So database purging is an activity which you have identified, okay, which you need to complete within 1 or 2 or maximum 3 days. So what's the option you have? In that case, expedited change is the option. Expedited sit in between emergency change and normal change. Normal change mostly we raise for weekend. Okay. Emergency is immediately. In some cases, emergency changes are retrospective changes also. So what is retrospective format? Retrospective is a format. Retrospective is a not type. Expedited change is a type. Hello?
Yes.
Gone?
No, no.
Confused?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So don't be confused. So expedited change is a type. Okay? So like normal, standard, emergency. Expedited is also a type. Okay. So just write this down first. Expedited change. Expedited is a change which sits in between normal and emergency. Few things they are additional and not under ITIL V4. I'm just giving you based on my information or experience. So people, once you are done with foundation, if a person like me is taking an interview, so they will give you some scenarios like this. So my change is not so normal, but not so important. So what's the option? The option is expedited change. Okay. Second scenario is done with writing. Let me know once
Yes.
you're done. Okay.
Yes.
So second scenario is you have some major downtime. Okay. So you have some components are fully down. Okay. You have taken a recovery call, a joint meeting, okay, where you have all the stakeholders, business people, everybody is there on call. Okay. So that is called as a recovery call. Okay. Or major incident management. Have you heard MIM? That is
Yep.
major incident management. So MIM team takes those calls. Okay. So what they do is they open a bridge where everybody joins, all your managers, stakeholders, your associate, everybody. Okay. सब join करते हैं, analyze करते हैं, and once that analysis is done, in some cases they execute the change. Okay. VP level या CTO level के बंदे वो call पे होते हैं. So they take their oral approval and they proceed. Okay. Once that system is fully recovered, on next day they raise that emergency change. So emergency change is a retrospective format change in some cases. I'm talking about format. I'm not talking about the type. So retrospective execution or retrospective raising a change after the execution. This is a retrospective format. Okay. This is one of the important scenarios. So done with change management. Yes, no.
Yep.
So next thing is incident management, the well-known practice, okay, to minimize the negative impact of an incident by restoring the normal service operation as quickly as possible. So what is incident? Any idea what is
Any
incident?
any event that impacted the production server?
Okay, yes. Any addition to this statement?
Mm. It's like uh whatever means production servers are impacted, like business get impacted
Hmm.
in
No, but
that
so
case.
so you are talking
Mhm,
about the major things, okay, like applications. But we are raising
mhm,
incidents for the my laptop is not working, mouse is not working. So those issues or incidents which are user related. So
mhm.
how do you term those or how do you define those? So what is incident? I'll give you the definition, no problem. Just try from your side. How do we calculate? Okay, so incident is any unplanned interruption or degradation in the product or service delivery. Any unplanned, unplanned is very important. In some cases, we are raising change, and that is a planned interruption. Planned interruption does not falls under incident. So any unplanned interruption or degradation. So what is degradation? Okay, my mouse is working, but my mouse is not working as expected. My mic is working, so I'm delivering a training, okay, but I'm not so clear. You people are not able to hear me clear, okay. My I'm able to access a particular application, but all fields are not available. So that all these things are degradation of a service. Okay, any unplanned interruption or degradation of a service or a product is called as an incident. So what all things we have here? So all incident should be logged and managed. Time should be a formal process. Timely resolution in line with expectation of a customer and user. Target resolution times are agreed, SLA, OLA. Okay. Incidents to be prioritized, categorized to ensure that the incidents with highest business impact are resolved first. That is priority. The way we discuss. So we have one senior manager. We have one senior manager whose laptop is not working, and our laptop is not working. Okay. So in that case, priority is senior manager because business is getting impacted if he is not available. Okay. So priority, severity, SLA, OLA, all these things fall under this underpinning contracts, etc., etc. Okay.
What is OLA? I know SLA. OLA is
OLA is organizational level agreement.
okay. Hmm.
What is
Got it.
underpinning contracts? Any idea? Underpinning contract, UC, is nothing but a document which we sign or the contractual agreement which we sign with our vendors, sub vendors. Okay. So, for example, if we have incident management team, so they will have some sub functions available. So they will sign some, okay, under say conditions, okay, some rules and regulations, some timeline. So that is called as under. So incident is an unplanned interruption to the service or reduction in the quality of service. Priority is based on impact and urgency. Okay. Swarming is the technique. Okay. Swarming is one of the techniques. So this is a less popular rather. Okay. But this is the word. Okay. Sometimes people they get confused or this word is not so common. So swarming is technique. Okay, this is one of the technique that involves many different stakeholders working together initially. So we all will join on a call. We all will join together, and then a particular team will start working. Once analysis is complete, that this particular issue falls under their queue. Okay. So in general, this is a general discussion. So in general, we use word problem. एक problem हो गया तो issue raise किया है. Problem is different. Okay, we'll see that part, but problem is different. Issue is different. So we raise incidents for issues, okay, and not for problems. For problems, we are raising problem tickets. It's a different practice or a different function or a different process. Okay. In general practice, we have a tendency to use this word. Problem हो गया यार. Problem नहीं हुआ, issue हुआ है. हाँ, problem भी होता है. I understand that. I accept that part also, but that's a separate mechanism or a separate procedure is involved. For issues, okay, we need incidents. Okay. Yes, no?
Yes.
Now we have problem. So what is problem? Problem क्या है? Any example? Nawaz, you are
Uh,
available? Yes, no? Nawaz, hello? Yes, he's not. So any idea what is problem?
uh, Problem is a recurring thing which is happening again and again. So we have to
Fantastic.
find out the root
So
cause of
root
it.
cause. Fantastic. Correct. Thank you. So problem is nothing but repeated issues, okay, which are reoccurring system. So consider like my mouse is not working or headphone is not working. I went to some help desk or service desk. Okay. They do something. Say they tune up some things and now it's working. Tomorrow again I'm facing the same issue. They do something. So this is happening again and again. So this needs to find, so we, in this case, we need to find a root cause why this mouse or mic is not working. Okay. So this needs a separate team. This needs a separate analysis. Okay. So once this is analyzed, people they will say like, no, no, mouse needs a replacement or headphone needs a replacement. So that replacement or whatever we want to go ahead. Okay. So there we need analysis. So this analysis falls under problem management team. So we have a separate team. Every organization, every big organization, where we have priority systems or priority products mentioned. So they will have this team. Okay. So problem management. So what is problem management? To reduce the likelihood of an impact, okay, of incident, okay, by identifying the actual and potential causes of incidents and managing workarounds. So what is workaround? For example, my mic is not working, my headphone is not working. I have training. I cannot say to my client that, yeah, my headphone is not working, let's reschedule. We cannot. In that case, what we will do is we'll arrange another mic. Oh, sorry, another headphone with mic. Okay, or we'll deliver training on the regular laptop with speaker, mic installed on it. Okay. The practice strives to find structural flaws, vulnerabilities, or error in the service or service components. It may exist even in four dimensions of service management. Okay. The relationship that problem and incident share is cause is a problem. So root cause is a problem. And effect of that particular cause or a root cause is incident. Please write this down. The last sentence is quite important. Problem management. Yes. Are we okay? Yes, no? So, key terms are a cause or a potential cause of one or more incidents is a problem. A very important line. A cause or a potential cause. See, in especially for you also, Samir, if you want to be successful in a process industry, or rather everyone, if you want to be successful in a process industry, definition needs to be very clear. Okay, this needs to be very clear. I mean, half of the game is on definition. People they will judge you on the definition. Okay, so repetitive incidents are problem is a regular English definition. A formal definition is a cause or a potential cause of one or more incident is a problem. Okay, known error is a problem that has been analyzed and has not been resolved. So that is known error. For example, my headphone issues are identified. Okay, my headphone related root cause is identified, but it's not yet resolved. Some sub parts are not available. We have raised a request and so they are in transit, etc., etc. Some server related components are not working and they are in transit. All this falls under known error. It usually means that faulty components have been identified. In such cases, we will give you workaround. So what is workaround? Workaround is nothing but a replacement, okay, parallel engagement or parallel arrangement to run the particular show. A solution that reduces or eliminates the impact of an incident or a problem for which a full resolution is not yet available. Some workaround reduces the likelihood of an incident. So issue is identified, problem is identified, but things are in transit. In that case, we will go for workaround. मोबाइल फोन ठीक होने में 3 दिन लगेंगे, 3 दिन मोबाइल बंद नहीं हो सकता है. So in that case, sorry, my battery was dying. Okay, so it's recovered. So in that case, so a mobile phone service company will give you a second mobile, okay, the alternate mobile to be used. Same is case with laptop and in uh, what is that, headphone, etc., etc. What's the arrangement in case of server or network issues? How we can avoid such situations? So any idea, Nikhil, how we operate in case of server network devices if we have some major problems like this? Yes, no?
Most probably we have some parallel arrangement like standby switches network.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, fantastic. DR. So standby things, okay. So we will have standby system ready and in parallel DR system. Okay. So primary, secondary, we switch and we operate. In some critical application, okay, for some critical application, what we do is we take or we keep some additional components in stock. Okay. Anyway, we have a monitoring system. So we have application monitoring system where we have everything ready. So what we do is we keep, say for example, hard disk, RAM, I don't know what all storage related things. So we keep additional stock in our system, okay, with us in stock rather. So that's the workaround. Okay, good. Thank you. So any questions, any concerns on problem management? Sleeping? Don't. I will give you time to sleep in the afternoon. I will uh, I will definitely allow you to go ahead after 2 o'clock. Yes, 1 o'clock rather. Sorry. Any question on problem management? Any question from you, Samir?
Nothing, Prashant.
Okay, good. So, stages or phases of problem management. The very first thing is identification, problem control, and error control. So, what is identification phase? Identify and log problem. Okay. So, this system is not working. It's a repetitive issue, a recurring issue. A repetitive, recurring. We can use multiple words. Okay. In that case, so we raise a ticket, problem ticket. Okay. Trend analysis. So the way I have said, for in case of server management, network management, storage management, we always consider statistical data. So that is trend analysis. For example, in banking system, in credit card system, in credit card application, on weekend, on festivals, on public holidays, on long weekend, we see spike in the transaction. So we don't plan any activity, we don't plan anything on the weekend, on that particular weekend. So for example, we have Diwali. So before Diwali, during Diwali, we don't plan anything because my banking system needs to be available to support the users. Okay, so trend analysis is this. Trend analysis is important. So we have a year end, we have Christmas holidays in London, US. So this is a freeze period. Have you heard about freeze period?
Yes.
So freeze period is nothing but freeze. Keep all the things on hold. That is freeze. Okay. Detection of duplicate and recurring issues. Sometimes if we operate some major activities, okay, so we face such issues. Okay. So if we have some new problem, rather, if a new problem has arrived, so multiple users, multiple teams, they are raising the same issues, okay, same problems to you. So there are chances if you are a central team, if you people are from the central team, there are chances that you will have duplicate issues in a problem queue. So those duplicate problems you can consider as one. You can raise a master problem for that and you can operate. Okay. Major incident management. We just discussed. So retrospective things are operated via major incident management. So this is problem identification phase or stage, we can say. What is problem control? A problem control is nothing but problem analysis, documenting workarounds and known error. Okay. Third stage is error control, identification of potential permanent solution. Okay. So this is what the problem management is. Okay. These are the stages and phases. Clear? Next thing is service request management. So what is this service request management? Any idea? Any idea what is this?
No.
Anyone? Okay.
I think this is like if we required any access of any software or any hardware part,
Correct. Fantastic.
for
Yes.
that we need to
Yes.
raise request.
Correct. So you have some issues, you have some requirement, you need something. Okay. So this is the process or this is the practice. Okay. Which will help you to operate like that. So if you need some additional access, okay, if you need some additional hardware, for example, we have only two ports or rather single port laptop, USB port. I have installed my, what is that? Dongle for Bluetooth mouse. Now I do not have port for my headphone dongle. So what options do we have? Uh, Guys, please go on mute if you're not talking. So what I will do is I will ask my asset management team and they will say like, boss, you raise one request for me. So that is a service request. So what they will do is they will allocate a USB hub, a small hub where 5, 6 ports will be there and you can plug in. So second example is, for example, somebody has resigned, okay, and their attendance data is required. So that attendance rate data, that attendance team is a separate team, right? So how we will do that? So I mean, HR team, they raise attendance data request to that particular team for a candidate. कितने दिन आया है या आई है? So once that data they have, okay, then your full and final will get settled. Okay, so these are few examples under service request. Service request is different than incident. Why we have separate workflow here? Because so there are some cases where incident management team was struggling to identify whether this is a service request or whether this is a incident. And anyway, incident management team, they always struggle to support the users because the number of users versus number of service agents, they are always less in any organization, whether that is a service industry or a captive industry. Any of the industry will have same case. Okay. So that's what we have a separate team called service request management. What is this? So to support the agreed quality of a service by handling all predefined user initiated service requests in an effective and user friendly manner. Okay. Second, so how this is happening? So this practice is dependent upon well designed process and procedure. How? For example, so few people they don't know what is the service request and what is the incident. Okay. So for example, I do not have a port available on my laptop. So I will raise a service, sorry, incident for that. I need some additional port or USB hub for that. So what that incident management team will do is they will route that incident service management, service request management, or they will ask me to raise a service request. So this is the well designed or well formulated process or well formulated thing. User will definitely not have an idea what is the difference between service request and incident for sure. Okay. So at user level, we should have some mechanism to identify service request and to navigate or to route that thing in the correct workflow. Okay. Service request module can be used for different types of service requests. For example, the way we discuss additional hardware, additional access. This is one of the example. Second thing is my USB hub. So this is another type. Third thing is the HR case, HR attendance data. So these are few types. Okay. For addition of new service request to the service catalog, existing workflow model should be leveraged wherever possible. What is this? What is service catalog? Hello? Any idea what is service catalog?
Basically, the services which are offered by uh, your product.
Fan- Fantastic. No, not product, by your organized. So see, we are discussing on org level. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever we are discussing in ITIL V4 is on org level. Whatever we are discussing under Agile, PSM, Lean, Kanban, that is on product level. Okay. So you mentioned like you completed PSM. So whatever you discuss under PSM, that is on product level.
Okay.
Every
Understood.
organization will have multiple. See, I am delivering ITIL, Agile, Prince2, PSM, Lean, Kanban, everything. DSDM, we have one more process called DSDM. So whatever we discuss under Agile, Lean, Kanban, that is on product level. So whatever we discuss, we are discussing product level strategy. Under ITIL V4, we are discussing org level strategy. Okay, so we are discussing on org level. So service catalog is the menu card, is the list of services which we are offering under a particular domain, okay, under a particular domain on org level. For example, under incident management, we will have network management, storage management, technical management, user level management, that is laptop, desktop, monitor, mouse, etc., etc. Okay. Likewise, we will have problem management. Likewise, we will have change management, release, etc., etc. We have one more category like CMDB. Sorry, initially, CMDB was part of the asset and configuration. Nowadays, we are utilizing CMDB everywhere. So Nitish is from the that team. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
he is from the asset and configuration management. So his very first primary document or backbone is CMDB.
PMDB, correct.
Nitish cannot operate without CMDB. MDB, that is configuration management database. configuration management database will have everything, under quotes, everything. Everything means everything. So, for example, for me, my org level CMDB will have everything. For example, my past records, my past history of engagements, okay, or employment, then my employee ID, then my desk location, my laptop with what all assets I have, okay. So everything falls under my ID. So unique ID or unique identification number for Prashant is my employee ID. So for example, if you go to some team in any of the team under organization, they will ask, so sir, what is your employee ID? So employee ID is nothing but your identification. And that's the primary key for CMD. For example, in some organization, in our organization, we do not have this. But in some organization, okay, they have policies like a particular employee will have access to a particular floor or particular area. Okay. So what they do is when you raise access request, so I need access to XYZ floor. So they will ask like, "Oh, sir, what's your employee ID?" So they will say like, my employee ID is ABCD. Okay. So they will say, no, you are not permitted to access that particular floor. How they identify? So they identify based on my access level or my band and grade. Okay. Under my employee ID. Okay. So this is very important. For addition of new service request to the existing service catalog, the existing model should be leveraged. This is very important. Okay. So service catalog is a menu of your practices under a particular domain. Yes, yes, no. So a formal definition is a request from a user or user's authorized representative that initiates a service action that has been agreed as a normal part of a service delivery. Understood? No?
Uh,
Let
a,
me.
a
Huh,
request from user or user representative after that.
huh. So what is representative? HR, for example. So
Hmm.
when we resign, okay, so we will not have access to raise that request. Okay. So HR will raise a request. So for example, your laptop is damaged, okay, or you don't have access to your laptop. You have called your service agent, okay, and you are asking like, boss, my laptop is not working. That's the additional thing. But for my work from home request, I need this particular access. So what he will do is you are not able to log in into system, right? So what that agent will do, that agent will raise a request on behalf of you for that access. Okay. That HR lady or HR person, he or she will raise a attendance request on your behalf. That's not your task, but it's on your behalf. Okay. She is HR, but she cannot directly access a particular thing. She cannot access your attendance data, your profile. See, everybody will have very limited access to the system. Okay. Yes, no,
Yes,
understood.
yes.
Like, okay, so request model is predefined steps to handle the known types of requests. So what is predefined model? For example, the way he has said, so you need access to a particular hardware software, you raise this particular request. If you need a USB dongle or a hub, to raise this request. We will have template. Okay, so every system will have template. So you type USB hub required. You will have template. So add your employee ID, add your details, why you need. This will go to your manager for approval, and that's it. Close. Okay. So standard change. Maximum changes are so half of the changes rather, they are standard change under service request. So these get managed by the practice by getting logged as a service request. in some organization, standard changes are operated via service request. Under service request, there are chances that half of the requests they don't need your manager's approval. Okay, so this is the service request. Service desk. What is the difference between service desk and help desk? Any idea? Anything you want to add here? Hello, am I audible? Yes, no?
Yes.
So what is the difference between service desk and a service request? Oh, sorry, not service desk and help desk.
Help desk is generally who, like queries which can be answered. Service desk is basically they can do something on your behalf, like fixing the laptop. Help desk is
Correct,
like just guiding people, like you have to go
correct,
here.
correct,
And that.
correct, correct. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
this is correct. Yes. So, so the purpose of this particular thing is to manage the incident and service request. For example, so help desk is a team who only help. Okay. So my laptop is not working. So, sir, can you push the button? Can you try to start? Can you remove the battery? Can you plug in your charger? This is just a help. Okay. This is just a help. There are chances that so this help will be very fruitful and your laptop will start. But on other hand, service desk is a team who actually do the things, who will actually help you to resolve that particular issue. Okay, so your laptop is not working, let me open. So he will take the screwdriver, etc. He will operate, he will test all the components, he will check your motherboard, RAM, whatever component. So that is a service desk. Okay. So it should be also be point of communication for service providers. Okay. So for example, your service, what is that? Laptop, desktop will have replacements. What is that? Repair centers. Okay, for a particular service centers rather. It should act as an entry point or a single point of contact for a particular service. With increased automation and the gradual removal of a technical debt, the focus of the service desk is to provide support for people and business both, rather than simply on a technical issue. How? People and business, how? Any idea? Yes, no? Let
Uh,
me answer. Yeah, go on, go on.
Emergency leaves, like managing, like you met an accident. We had a helpline number where we can call anytime. We had a service
Ha,
desk helpline number as
ha,
well
ha.
for any security incident or anything as such.
Yeah,
Uh,
correct,
mm,
correct.
yeah.
Yes, this can be considered. Yes, yes. So, the second, the Indian example basically is there are some possibilities that your service desk is integrated with your application management, network management team. So, how that will help your business basically. So, for example, a particular application is not behaving up to mark. Okay, it's very slow. It's not pages are not getting opened, etc., etc. So in that case, I will raise a request. So your Google Pay is not working, for example. Okay, so Google Pay team, they will come in action, they will validate, and they will in parallel talk to application management, or they will escalate immediately to the application management. So tier 0, tier 1 services where we have huge impact, huge issues are getting raised. So we are integrating these days with application management, network management, storage management to check the things live. Okay. See, for a major business operatives, you cannot say like, I will get back to you in some time. No, that is not working. See, like the way you have said, so you met with some accident. Okay, you need immediate help now. You don't need promise. You need help. Okay, you need a communication. You need confirmation. So in that case, I cannot say like, okay, let me check. I will get back to you on this. No, you need immediate help there. So in that case, what he or she can do is they will call to your HR, whoever is available on remote support or online support. They will make sure that you two guys are discussing with each other and your matter is sorted. Whether you have insurance claim related query or something like that for a hospital admission or whatever you need. So, see, for example, you are at your hospital gate and you need admission, you need a confirmation from HR, and I cannot say like, let me talk to HR and we'll get back to you. So, this is the example, this is the system, okay, which we can leverage. Okay. So, this has a major influence on user experience and how the service provider is perceived by the user. The same example, user experience, how this matters is, for example, you have insurance policy. Okay, a major insurance policy, you have paid major insurance premium for that. Okay, now you need admission in some hospital and nobody is picking up a call. Your help desk or that common number, the helpline number, they are saying, sir, we will get back to you. This will not work. So next time you will not go with this particular policy. In case of hospitalization, what you need is you need immediate confirmation whether this is applicable or not, this is relevant or not, etc. etc. Okay, so that's the thing. Any question? So centralized service desk and virtual service desk. So central service desk, a major difference between central service desk and a virtual service desk is the way Nawaz is operating. I guess he is working for US region. Okay. So he is virtually working for US. Okay. And what is centralized? The people who all are sitting in our office. So that's a central service desk. So if you have say 10,000 people working in your organization on that particular, so for example, TCS. So TCS Hinjawadi, around 10,000 people are working in the same location and they have a single central service desk. So that's a central thing. And the way Nawaz is working like remotely, he is logging into some system and they are supporting US client. Okay, so that's the virtual. People who all are sitting on different location and they are supporting to you virtually or remotely. That's the virtual one. So a tangible team working in a single location on a particular location. Intelligent telephony system, workflow management, resource planning, etc., etc., knowledge base, TMS. TMS is configuration management system, asset team. Okay. Second thing is virtual thing. So agents to work from multiple geographic location, okay, requires more sophisticated supporting technology system, allowing access from multiple locations and more complex routing and escalations. For example, if today Nawaz is not able to operate. He is having some mandatory trainings. Okay? So what he will do is he will ask his agent from other country. So for example, Nawaz and his team, rather, his whole team needs to go under a mandatory training, or they have some band at Hyderabad location, or they have some natural calamities like flood-like situation in Hyderabad. So electricity is not there. He cannot log in from his home also. So in that situation, what he can do is somehow he can communicate. okay, or somehow his manager needs to communicate to some other locations like say London or Sri Lanka or Australia, where we do not have such situations and they can operate from that location. So escalation routing is required in that case. And more sophisticated technologies are required. Some organizations they have satellite phones also at their premises. Just for your information. Okay. Any question on service desk? What is SLM? Nawaz, you are back. What is SLM, service level management? So SLM is to set a clear business based targets for service performance so that delivery of a service can be properly assessed, monitored, and managed. So why we have SLM? Why we have service level management? So we may be providing multiple services, okay, to a particular user or a client. Every service should not be a priority service. Okay? And if you have every service is priority, then you should have some other mechanism. So we may have priority one, priority two, priority three services, and they will have separate SLA, OLA assigned. Okay, so this is the team who manage those SLAs and OLAs, underpinning contracts also. So this involves definition, documentation, and active management and monitoring of that particular service. Service level management team provides the end-to-end visibility of organization services also. Pragmatic focus is needed on the whole service and not on its a regular or a constituents parts. A full end-to-end picture, a big picture is required always from SLM team related to a product or a service. Okay. So this is the team who manage the different prioritization, identification, assessment of services, then formulation of SLAs, OLAs, then monitoring those services, whether they are performing well, whether we are going in a right direction. All these things falls under SLM, service level management. I'll suggest you at least write this down, okay, in your words, SLA, OLA, underpinning contract. So see, I am a ITIL expert. Okay, so I am trying to give you the maximum data until master level, ITIL master. So under V4 we have master. V3 that was expert. So everything does not falls under ITIL V4 foundation. So this PPT is not having that expert level or master level data. So I'm trying to give you that data because these days interviews are getting very complex. Okay, so people they are giving scenarios, people they are giving you some situational things. Okay, so your brain should be very ready with that part. Yes, sir. Okay. Any questions on SLM? Yes, no?
No.
Okay. So service level management. Okay, this is the agreed service. Okay, these are the agreed rules and regulations between service provider and a customer for service level. Okay, I'll suggest you write this down. Okay, so this should relate to defined outcomes and not simply operational matrices. This can be achieved with balanced bundles of matrices such as customer satisfaction and business outcomes. What is watermelon effect? So this is one of the term in ITIL actually. So first you write this down and then we can discuss. Done with writing? Done with writing? Yes, no?
Yes.
So have you heard about watermelon effect by any chance? No? Have you heard about red, green, and amber report performance? Have you seen managers are say giving you like no, no, we are in amber, we are in red kind of things. So this is the situation. Okay. So what is this watermelon thing? Okay. So we are under monitoring, governance, management. We are generating some performance report. Okay. So when we are showing performance in green, okay, to our senior management or a customer, but actual situation is red or amber. So that is called as watermelon effect. So watermelon is green from outside, right? But internally, that's red. So this is watermelon effect. So especially support teams, okay, their managers are doing this thing like that just to show the good customer satisfaction, user satisfaction thing. So what they do is they show performance report in green. No, no, we are doing good. We are doing very good things, etc., etc. But in practical, in actual situation, things are in red. Users are not happy. Somehow they are managing the reports. Somehow they are editing the reports. Somehow they are managing a group of managers or group of people, a business people sometimes in some cases. So these are few activities, okay, which are resulting in watermelon effect. Okay. So this is the thing. So this is one of the just word or example which somebody will ask you in the interview. So the service level management involves collecting and analyzing information from number of sources. These sources includes customer engagement, customer feedback, operational matrices, and business matrices. Okay. So the very first thing is customer engagement and customer feedback. Okay. On some level, at some on some domain related specific areas, so customer is actively engaged or customer is directly connected. At that time, we need customer engagement also actively. I mean, it's happening actively. This we need to take care. And customer feedback is also important at that level. In with some teams like so who is supporting business, but business is not fully involved or we are not directly connected. At that level, we need business matrices and operational matrices. So these are few reports or mechanism via which we always showcase that we are working good. We are working good to a management, senior management. Okay. So this is service level management. So there are few ITIL practices like information security, relationship, supplier management, IT asset management which falls initially it was falling under PMDB practices, monitoring and event management, release management, service request, service configuration management, and deployment management. So we'll go one by one. So can we take a small break, 2-3 minutes break, or we can continue? Yes, at least for a break, say yes or no, boys.
At least
Hello?
5 minutes, not 2, 3 minutes.
At least for a break, you unmute.
We,
Yeah.
we can have a 3 to 4 minutes break, by the way.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know what's the time. It's 11:19. So let's consider 11:20. Let's reconvene at 25. Okay, sure. Thank you. Let's stop. Yes, no. Can we start?
Just give me a minute. Huh?
Whoever responds late needs to pay 500 rupees, please. Meanwhile, any questions on anything? Can we start? Yes.
Yes, we can.
So, any questions on any of the practice process which we discussed?
No, not for now.
No, all good for now.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. So, information security management. So, we are not directly connected to this, but what's your version? How, or why this is important to manage the information security? Any idea?
Uh, in banking domain, it's mostly because of regulatory compliance. The penalty is a lot, and
Right.
uh, uh, any info can be utilized by the other party for do a lot of things.
Yeah. No, this is applicable for every domain, rather, every industry, whether banking, automobile, manufacturing, insurance, and whatnot. Okay. So let me tell you how. For example, you have taken example of banking industry. This is very correct. Okay. For insurance, so if you have some products, so I am Bharti AXA and you are Tata, for example. So I'm taking Indian example, of course. So for Bharti AXA, if they formulated some plan, okay, which is very fantastic one, and if that information somehow just got leaked to Tata, so Tata also will update their plan, right, to be in a market. So information security, data security, that is quite important. In case of manufacturing or automobile industry especially, so if I am Mahindra, okay, I'm launching some car, or Tata is launching some new car, Tata Sierra, for example, or some the new version, Tata Sierra is the relaunch rather. So if they are launching some new breed, okay, and if that design just got leaked, okay, so in that case, Mahindra or some other player like Maruti, they will also formulate same level car or same feature car. Then in that case, Tata or Mahindra will lose the business. Whoever whose information is leaked. See, if they are adding some new unique features in a particular car, and if those features are just got leaked, so they will be in a trouble. So the very first thing is information. So we have multiple parts under information, so data, etc. So that's why information security is important. So the purpose is to protect the information needed by an organization to conduct its business. So whatever we are discussing on business level. Okay. So on the org level, we are discussing. But think like, so on one fine day, so I see HDFC especially, HDFC banks, they are calling, sir, do you need a credit card? Do you have any requirement for a personal loan? So how your mobile numbers are getting leaked? So those are getting leaked via your transport system, your organization, from your the entry wherever you are doing those entries. Okay, so on some security gates, wherever you are entering your mobile number, your address, Okay, so try to add some incorrect information. These days, information is key. I don't know how and where people they will use your data. For you, especially since last so many years, I'm not giving my mobile anywhere, mobile number. I'm entering incorrect mobile numbers everywhere. Imagine, I'm not giving my full address. The people they keep trace, okay, they add trace. So, okay, mobile number, then Facebook profile, then Instagram profile, then who is your wife, who is your kid, where they are studying. Okay, they are studying in college. Okay, which college, this college, that college. Okay, what's the bank account? Okay, you are giving, you are utilizing this restaurant. Okay, so how you are paying via Google Pay or credit card? Okay, credit card. Okay, this is how they are tracing. Which car you are working, sorry, using. They have end-to-end trace. So information security is very important. Okay. So this includes confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity on non-repudiation. So what is non-repudiation? Have you heard about this non-repudiation? This word is very different. We are not using this word in a regular English. Non-repudiation. Any idea? We are utilizing this maximum in our day-to-day office work. Any idea what's this? Hello? Am I audible? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
audible. Okay, fantastic. So non-repudiation is nothing but your read receipt when you are sending email. You are sending some emails to me, okay, and you are adding, you are clicking that checkbox, okay, read receipt. So that's the non-repudiation. Okay. What is authenticity? What is authentic information? What is authenticity? We just discussed one example. So managers, they are uh, updating the data before sending this to higher management. Okay. Sometimes people, they use their access, people, they use their rights to uh, update the information, to update the correct information, and they show you some incorrect information and not correct. Incorrect and not correct. There is a difference. So let me use word not correct. Okay. So not correct information will be shown on your screen. Okay? So that's authenticity. So what authentic behavior is saying is you should have correct information displayed on your screen. Now nowadays Indian banking system they change the domain name of banks. ICICI bank.com something like that. I don't know. I just read somewhere. So why? Because of this. People they are copying the whole sites. So on one fine day you will say like, okay, this is the ICI site. No, that is not ICICI. You are logging in some scam site. You are adding all your details there. So try to look at the URL which you are typing or which is appearing on the Google search. Okay. People they are quite educated these days. They know everything and anything. Okay. Okay. So any questions must be driven from the most senior level organization. Critically dependent on the behavior of people throughout the organization. So we have discussed about the org level thing and personal things also. So wherever try not to use your credit cards in small outlets. Okay. So credit card is having your end-to-end information and maximum information. Try to use your Google Pay, Phone Pay. I don't know what all things you are using. Okay. So establishing a policy processes controls is necessary. Balance needs to be maintained between prevention, detection, and correction stage. Processes and procedures required to support these practices. Okay. Other processes, say like incident management. So incident management team will have monitoring system where they can monitor the security breaches, etc. Okay. So in org level, we will have few sites blocked. Okay. If you are accessing a particular site, it's saying like blocked by the policy. So this is the same thing. And information security, incident management process, a risk management process, control review and audit process. So in audit, if we found like, okay, this guy, he is continuously accessing share market sites and share market sites are not applicable in our domain. For example, I'm just giving a random example. So under audit process, they have rights to block your access to those share market sites. Okay. And identity and access management process. Okay. Your ID card, which you are accessing, event management process. Okay. Procedures for penetration testing and vulnerability scanning, procedures for managing information security related change. So what is event management? How event management is linked to information security? Let me take an example. Okay. So you have received one email. Okay. So there was an event has happened in our organization. So we have conducted one CSR event. So that organization is well known and somebody has scammed their name. Okay. And they were sending emails to our people. Okay. Hello. And once that thing is done, so people they have clicked on those links. Okay. Which is incorrect. So that is under event. So something which is happening, okay, something which you are doing, something which is happening, okay, that is an event. So penetration testing, sometimes you will have some internal teams, your information security team, they will send some internally managed dummy phishing emails. Okay. So they will say like you need to update your attendance record and you will click. So this means your information security things are not clear and they will assign some trainings to you, right? So this is what the thing is. So so sometimes under control manner, under a dummy environment, so people they do such things also to check whether our employees are in sync with our policies. Okay. So this is what the information security management is. Any question on info security?
No.
Okay, so next part is supplier management. Supplier management is nothing but vendor management also. So vendor management, why we need is in some cases, so on application level, on infra level, on the pair level, hardware level, software level, we need vendors. Okay, we need suppliers. So we cannot say to our client, okay, who is sitting at US or UK or Australia, that my laptop is not working due to my hardware issues and my hardware needs next 20 days or 1 month to receive at my location. No, should have some spare parts in stock. We should have some mechanism. We should have your vendor ready. Okay. So this is what the supplier or vendor management is. Organization supplier, their performance are managed appropriately to support vision of a seamless products and service. So key activities are getting a single point of visibility and control to ensure consistency, Maintaining a supplier strategy and contract management information and agreeing contracts and managing relationships and contracts with internal and external suppliers, managing supplier performance. So these are few terms, which we are doing. So supplier management practice always monitors, always evaluate their performance, vendor performance. They try to update their contracts based on situation, based on condition, based on location. For example, for metro cities, the contractual agreement terms will be different. For non-metro, those will be different. So consider like you have some offices in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and you have some offices in a small town like Nagpur, or Indore, for example. Few organizations they are setting up centers in Indore. Indore is a non-metro or a small city as of now. They do not have maximum IT presence. So in such town, in such center, your vendor should report, your vendor should have services available. Okay. So that's the thing. So we have multiple layers, okay, via which we are operating in IT. So any question on supplier management? Any question, concern? Okay. So insourcing, outsourcing, single sourcing, partnership, and multi-sourcing. There are few formats or strategies via which or under which we are working. Okay. So what is insourcing? Insourcing is internal thing. Okay. So it's insourcing means internal. Okay. Outsourcing is nothing but we are giving our services. We are outsourcing our services. We are allowing some vendor in some manner, okay, to support us. Multi-sourcing post or partnership. Okay. So what is multi-sourcing, co-sourcing? So multi-sourcing is for a particular service, for a particular product support, you have multiple vendor. Okay. For L1, you have this, L2, you have this, L3, you have this. A, B, C. Okay. What is co-sourcing? So for example, co-sourcing is nothing but two or different vendor under same level. So for example, L0, sorry, under say L1, for example, you have say network services, for example. So regular network management under L1 will be managed by vendor A, and uh, network configuration level changes will be operated by vendor B on L1 level. So level is same, tasks are different and vendor is different. So co-sourcing. Sometimes what we are doing is management is from our side and technical support is from vendor side. So this is also one of the example for co-sourcing. What is single source or partnership? So this is like you are partnering with something, some vendor. So ABC vendor, if you have, for example, so you are partnering with them. So partnering will help you to gear up the services. If you have new implementation, okay, if you have new setup, what we have. So we have these days, wherever we have new setup, okay, startups especially. So startup, they go into partnership model maximum in maximum cases. In partnership, the share or the profit will be of a same level. So people will be very happy in partnership. Okay. So maximum startups, they try to operate like this, their partnership. A service integration. A service integrator is responsible for coordinating or orchestrating all the suppliers involved in the development of delivery of product. So a multiple vendor will be involved, okay, and you will have a service integrator, especially your SDM, service delivery manager. His role is this, okay. So your SDM is responsible for this activity. So what he or she will do is He will take care of all the vendor escalation. He will talk to their managers. If they are not ready to support, they will go for penalty. In some cases, they go for termination of a contract. Multi-level hiring is happening. Okay. So things are like this. Okay. So it focuses on end-to-end provision of a service. So in markets, if you see few vendors, they are having monopoly in a particular market. Okay. So to break that particular monopoly, these days people they hire multiple vendors. So for example, A vendor is having a monopoly. So I will handle B also, C also to break that monopoly format. So for example, if vendor A is having monopoly in your system, in your organization, so they will have maximum control. And if on one fine day they are saying, no, I need 5 rupees instead of 1 rupee, so you have to pay 5 rupees, or I will support this much only and that much only. So instead of doing this, okay, and to break the overall monopoly, we are operating like this. So supplier management practice is important with respect to this aspect, this particular format. Yes, okay, clear? Any question on supplier management? Supplier management.
No.
For co-sourcing, can you repeat once? Multi-sourcing, I understood.
So
Uh,
co-sourcing, let me tell you. So for example, you are a manager.
uh,
Okay, you have vendor under you. So you are a lead, not manager. Let me rephrase. So you are a lead. Okay, you are a L1 person. You are a senior L1 person under your team, and you have supporting team reporting to you, supporting people reporting to you under L1 only. So L1 will be handled by you. You are the primary person who is working from that organization, and who all are reporting to you, they will be from vendor side. समझा?
okay, okay,
नहीं
yeah.
समझा?
It's basically like SPC, right? For banks, we have SPC for each bank, but there will be different person also whom you can
SPC
reach.
is sorry.
Single point of contact for
Ah,
all the
yes,
banks.
yes, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Understood.
Spock.
Understood.
So SPC is Spock in India.
Oh,
So
Spock.
yeah,
Okay.
SPOC Spock. Yeah,
Mm. Okay.
SPC is Spock.
Mm.
Okay. Yes, Spock. The example is Spock. Yes.
Mm. Okay. Understood.
Any other question? Okay. So next thing is IT asset management. So assets are important while we are delivering services. So assets can be everything, anything or everything rather. So my mouse, my laptop, my laptop charger, my headphone, my USB dongle, USB hub, server, network, storage devices, network cables, router, switches, everything is IT asset. A IT asset is nothing but an asset which is required to deliver or required to enable a particular IT service. Okay. And this IT asset management team, they takes care of all the life cycle events of a particular asset. So right from the procuring, then commissioning, then your implementation in the system, then monitoring, then your retirement of a particular assets, etc., etc. There are some cases where if you have a pilot project, so you have to authoritatively or you need to give evidence of destroying a particular package. Okay, you have to. For example, there were HP especially. I've seen this with HP. So when HP launched some new printers, okay, they share those printers for testing. So you cannot use those printers once testing is done. You have to destroy those and you have to submit the evidences to HP. Same is applicable for their laptop. Same is applicable for their scanner, printer, plotter. their devices. I mean, whatever HP uh, invents newly, okay, so whatever their new inventions are, so the protocol is to test and destroy. Those parts will not go in market, okay, as it is. They will launch the service, they will launch the product, and then that will go in the market. So this is one of the format of information security also. Okay, am I correct, Ish? आपने देखा है ऐसे, सुना है rather? Ish was on mute. Okay, so IT asset management purpose is to plan and manage the full life cycle of an asset, IT asset. Any valuable component that can contribute to the delivery of IT product or a service. Scope is all software, hardware, networking, cloud services, clients, devices. For example, how softwares are included here. So few software licensing needs to be renewed. Few softwares are getting expired. Say, for example, Windows 10 was there. Now Windows 11 we have. So Windows 10 is expiring. So we need to go for Windows 11 implementation. So IT asset management team is primary owner for this particular thing. Okay. So scope in bracket may include non-IT assets also. This depends on your organizational policy. ITIL is just suggesting. Okay. So this may include non-IT assets such as building information where these have financial valuable things are placed and are required to deliver an IT services. Okay. How buildings and alls are important. For example, so if you want to trace me under my organization, so you need to trace my location, my building. So if we have multiple building, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So under Pune location, in which building, on which floor I am sitting. So these days, IT asset management team, they are tracking employees or they are keeping information of employee on such level. Okay, under TCS, say you have 10,000 employees and say 10 different buildings you have. So where a particular employee is sitting, so how they will track? So they will track under this policy. Okay, so this is IT asset management. Any question on this one? So next one is service configuration management. So service config and IT asset management, somehow they are linked. How? Let me explain. So service configuration management is majorly responsible for CI update, CI addition, deletion, updation, etc. So what is CI? Anything or everything that is required, okay, to deliver a service, okay, anything which is required, any component or thing which is required to deliver an IT service is CI. For our organization, we are CIs. Okay, you are CI for your organization. I am CI for my. Okay. So employee ID is our identification number. Okay. And the database where we are storing this complete information, that is called as CMD, Configuration Management Database. Okay. So what's the purpose? So purpose is to ensure the accurate and reliable information about the configuration of a service and the CIs that supports them is available when and where is needed. This includes information on how CIs are configured and relationship between them. So if I'm saying I need access to this floor, so people they will say, no, no, you are not authorized to access because my band and grade, my team name, my domain name is mentioned. So I'm not authorized to access that particular service, okay, due to that reason. So what is configuration item definition? Any component that needs to be managed in order to deliver an IT service. Configuration management system, CMDB. Configuration management system is a system And under that, the master database is called as CMD, a set of tools, data, and information that is used to support a service configuration management. So what all other tools and data we have? So configuration management system will have licenses, will have your license keys, will have supporting documentation. Initially, we used to have CDs, DVDs in which all those set of files are captured. Okay, so all this falls under configuration management system. These days, I don't think CDs and DVDs are there, but yes, documentation will definitely be there. Okay, and licenses will definitely be there. Otherwise, installables are available as it is. Correct, Nitish? Yes, no? So this is the configuration model of a typical IT service. Okay. So the at the very first level we have IT service here. If you can see my mouse, okay. So at very first level we have IT service. So this is just an example. This is not a representation of your organization or my organization. This is just an example. So SaaS components, local application, client application, somehow all are connected here with cloud, local servers, local storage. Okay. At the right hand side, we have client application, client devices, and users separately. And via IT service, okay, via particular IT service, we all are using local application and SaaS platform also. Okay, so this is what the diagram is saying. At the bottom level, if you see, we have data center. So data center is a place where all your storage, network, servers, they are placed, okay, and they are getting managed there. So data center will have primary data center, secondary data center, or a backup data center. Okay. So want to try this diagram, right? Yes, no? At least take a picture or draw something on your paper. I will take a screenshot. Nikhil is typing but not speaking here. I guess he is driving. Don't drive, guys. Don't drive while you are taking a training, or don't take these calls, please. Conditions in cities are not so good. Next thing is monitoring and event management practice. Okay. So event will be of three types basically. So, so informational event, warning event, and exception. So what is the difference? Any idea? What is the difference between informational, warning, and exceptions? Any idea about these events? Okay, understood. Yes, Nikhil, acknowledged. Oh, Meenal. Okay. Functions at my place. Okay, okay, understood. No problem. Okay, so three types of events. So first is informational event. So your copy operations. If you are copying something on your USB drive, at the end of operation, it will say like your copy operation is complete. That is information. Say if you are copying something, okay, and if it is saying like your disk is almost full, so that's a warning. And exception is nothing but an event, or is information which can or which may generate into issues, or which may fail after some time. Okay. So this is the thing. So purpose of monitoring and event management practice is to systematically observe a service and a service component and record and report selected changes of the state identified as events. What is the definition of event? An event can be defined as any change of state that has significance for the management of an configuration item or IT service. This practice manages events throughout their life cycle to prevent, minimize, or eliminates their negative impact on the business. So, uh, especially monitoring team, if you have seen some network operation center, NOC. So people they called as a NOC. So NOC is a monitoring team. Okay. So they always monitor applications. So in some cases they will say like, no, this application needs attention, immediate attention. They will, in some cases, they will raise alarm by saying, boss, this application needs attention. Otherwise, this will crash in next 2 days, storage wise, capacity wise, performance wise. So they are monitoring on different level. They monitor traffic also, the network traffic. Okay. On a particular day, we have maximum network traffic. So they keep configuration update and things like that. Okay. If we have major org level changes, org level updates, so this is the team who actually shares the statistical data. So when to have that particular release or not. Okay. So this is the monitoring and event. So a few parts of this product, say practice is as follows. So first is focus on the systematic observation of a service and CI that underpin service to detect condition and of potential significance. The event management part of a practice focuses on recording and managing those monitored changes of state that are defined in an organization as an event, determines the significance, and identifying and initiating the control. For example, you need to set up some thresholds. Okay. So, for example, uh, a particular storage, if it is crossing 80%, you will raise some basic alarm. Okay. If it is crossing above 90%, system will raise red alarm or switch to secondary system. So all these protocols, all these baselines, all these thresholds you need to set in the system. Monitoring team will not have any control or any idea in some cases about the system. So as a business user or as a business owner, okay, we need to set up these thresholds also. On time to time basis, we need to monitor, we need to measure those thresholds also. For example, initially online transactions were not so huge in India also. But nowadays, if your policy is from 90s, if you are utilizing the same policy which was there in 90s and your thresholds are from 90s, so your thresholds are not relevant. You need to keep on monitoring, you need to keep on updating your thresholds also. Automation is important, CSF for the practices. So what is CSF? So correction of events, automatic ticket creation under ITSM tool and reporting. Okay. Monitoring can be either active via knock team or passive. So what is passive monitoring? Passive monitoring is nothing but a monitoring which we are we have already automated. Okay, so somebody is monitoring or tools are monitoring, and at a particular event, at a say time to time, say after 5 hours, 8 hours, you will have automated report or automated email. So that's the passive monitoring. Okay, so monitoring of these parts. Any question on this piece of work? So monitoring practice. Any questions, concerns? Yes, no? Okay. So next one is release management. So I have started as a release manager only. So my favorite. So what is the difference between change and release? Anybody? what's the difference between change and release management and change management? Yes, no? I will take additional charges just to read these messages. Correct. So, release management is a team, okay? So, or release management is a parent and child is change management, okay? So, on organization where we have multiple or major changes, major products are involved, major changes are involved, okay? At that time, we are working under release management. So, release management is a team who actually monitors, who actually manage, who actually observes, who consider statistical data, who consider trend related data, who is actively managing multiple location. So that is called as release management. Change management, we can say where we have a small setup where we can easily manage small things. So we implement changes. But where the infrastructure is huge, multiple integration, multiple components are involved, we go for release management. Okay. So the purpose of release management is to make a new or change services, okay, and feature available for the use. So for example, Google cannot go for a change management implementation. Google will have multiple release management team under the hood. Okay? So Google, if they wants to go for a new implementation for Google Pay or Google Cloud or something like that, okay, so they need this kind of a release management team. So release management team observes the application. They consider statistical data. We go for trend analysis. We are responsible for governance also in some cases. We are responsible for a performance management thing also in some cases. Okay. Few major application, if we have some critical application, if we have, so our team is actively engaged, actively participating, actively monitoring and validating those applications also. Okay. So a definition of a release is a version of a IT service or other configuration item or collection of a configuration item that is made available for use. The last few words are very important. That is made available for use. A release may comprise of infrastructure and application components, documentation, training, updated process or tools or any other components. How training is involved here? Any idea? Anything you want to add? How trainings are involved? Whenever we are upgrading some versions or upgrading some components, adding new services or product. So as a release manager, we are not allowing team to implement those changes or updates in the system until and unless they have shared a signed off of our employee and business enablement, that is training. So until and unless they don't share a KT completion sign off of a team, we don't allow them to put a particular release in a system. Okay. So training, shadow support, KT, support documentation creation. So all these validations are done by release management team. Okay. We don't approve those changes. We don't allow teams to add those changes. So that's the important part. Okay. So release management practice in agile and waterfall. So if we can see here, okay, so we have two traditional methods. So infrastructure updates are quite simple. They are straight. We have to bring down application. We have to bring down some components and then we have to go for the infra upgrade. But in application management, the situation is little different. Okay, in case of release management. So we have two different methods, okay, under which our industry is operating. The traditional method, the initial method is a waterfall method, and the latest format is agile, okay, or a phased approach, we can say. So if you are able to see my mouse, okay, so on both the things, okay, on in both the sides, left and right. So the left one is waterfall, right side is agile or DevOps. So left side, if you can see, the major difference is at deployment level, deployment and testing level actually. Okay. So how deployment and testing is different? Let's see. So on the left hand side, we have this release plan, okay, where we have new or change services one, two, three. Okay. So at the bottom, we have training and documentation. So how they are saying is, so we have new or change services part one, part two, and at part two, my services are ready. I'm ready for the implementation. So in the waterfall methodology, they used to deploy those releases and they used to go for the testing. So before this phase, lower environment, etc., they are getting done. In the agile format, what we are doing is whenever we are deploying version one, okay, and then we are releasing that and we are testing that. So we are creating version, we are creating phases of a particular release. So the left side is a big bang approach and the right side is a phased approach. Agile is a phased approach. So under Agile, we are creating few phases of a particular implementation and then we are deploying those. So phase one, phase two, and in the last phase, we are making sure like training, documentation, everything is complete. And that will be a go live session. Okay. So just take a screenshot of this particular page. Okay. Release management practices. Done. Sorry. Okay. So at deployment level, at this level, the deployment and release level, okay, what all things we are covering. So in V4, okay, so initially in V3, release management practice was a single source. Now at V4, we have multi-source here. So we have deployment management practices as a separate entity here. So what's the role of deployment management practice? So whatever we are deploying on lower environment, higher environment, so that is on UAT, SIT, and production DR. So all this falls under deployment management. So what they do is this is required to move new or change hardware, software, documentation, process, or any other component to live environment. So from the lower environment to higher environment, these people they are say responsible. It may also be involved in deploying components to other environments for testing and staging, that is lower environment. Work closely with release management team who is a governing body. So under release management and deployment management process, release management team is a governing body. Okay. So work closely with any release management and change management team. Okay. So these are few deployment approach. Okay. So phased approach, continuous delivery, big bang deployment, pull versus push deployment. Okay, let's go one by one. So what is pull versus push? So pull versus push is nothing but your software center. Okay, if you look at your laptop, you will have software center or software library associated with your organization. Okay, there are some software which are predefined. Okay, and those are associated with your band and grade. So you can go on that software center and you can simply install those on your laptop. That's pull approach. Pull. So what is push? Push approach is nothing but deployment team or deployment management team is formulating a package or patches and they are deploying on your system. Okay. On Monday, when we log in into the system, a pop-up will appear like software is ready to be deployed. Okay. So that is push. In some cases, if you need some additional software or application, so you have to raise a request to asset management team. Okay. Once your manager has approved, this team will make sure like that particular software or application is available in your software center on your laptop. So you have to go there and you have to install. So this is push and pull, both the approach. Okay, so multiple approaches we have. So what is Big Bang? So Big Bang approach is nothing but a waterfall approach, the initial approach where we used to take all the components and we used to deploy all together in one go. Okay. So what is continuous delivery? Continuous delivery is version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, etc. etc. Continually we are deploying something. Components are integrated, tested, and deployed when they are needed, providing frequent opportunities for customer and customer feedback. Okay, so that is continuous. What is phased deployment? So you have some implementation, okay, which you have phased. You have broken that information or requirement down in pieces. Okay. The new or change components are deployed to just part of the production environment at the time and repeated as many times as it is needed. So the example of a phased approach is the example which we have used yesterday. Okay. So 4 seconds implementation is phased or broken down in three phases. The very first stage is upgrade of infra. The second phase is Oracle upgrade. And third phase is actual information, software update. Okay. So phased deployment. And what is continuous delivery? Continuous delivery is this. Agile deployment or deployments, they are continuous. And waterfall deployments are Big Bang approach, Big Bang deployment. I'll suggest you take a screenshot or write this down. At least phased, continuous delivery, Big Bang, pull versus push. So these are the approaches. Any questions, concerns from anybody? Okay, so with this, we have finished our complete training session for ITIL V4. Okay. So, I'll suggest let's take 5 minutes break or a pause, okay, and just review whatever we have. Once this is done, we have the next page, which is showing like the services or trainings which NeoSkill is showing. So let's take 5 minutes pause. Let's review first ITIL thing which we have covered till now, and then let's discuss the neo skill offerings and then the feedback or questions or concerns or wants to discuss any scenarios. Okay, and then we'll conclude. Five minutes pause, guys. Okay.